Shabbat Shalom. Y'all got quiet. Welcome. We are so happy that you're here. So, welcome. Well, I am Rabbi Heidi Cohen, and this is Cantor David Reinwald, for those of you who are guests and who are here for the first time. Who has never been to a Shabbat morning service before? Perfect. We will tell you everything you need to know in just a few minutes to help make sure that you know what's happening. But first, before we begin, just a little public service announcement. If you have a cell phone or anything like that that makes noise, go ahead and turn it to the off position, or at least to, silent. So that way, wait. Wait. Hold it. Something really important. Where's the camera on here? Where's the camera? Okay, go ahead and whoop. I got it. Whoop. I got it. We're good. Okay, give me the camera. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. We'll be right with you. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. We'll just cancel that right there. Come here. Yay! Okay, wait, hang on just a second. Let's turn that around too. Okay, there we go. Everybody, smile. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now turn it off. All the way off. God's not calling you today. From there you go. Power off. Nice. Wait, no. Just put it over here. It'll be fine. Nobody's sitting there. It's all good. You want me to move it down there just in case? No? Okay, cool. Oh, whoops. Okay, now he'll be fine. All right, Cantor, let's warm up our voices, please.
We join in this melody, which is called a nigun. This is a melody that has no specific words, so we can focus on how the music makes us feel as we warm up our mind, body, spirit, and voice. So please join in as we sing with a smile. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya.
Celebrate Shabbat. Shabbat is the wonderful gift that God has given to us. It is the seventh day of the week. It is a day of rest. It allows us to be able to kind of stop from all of the work and everything that we've been doing throughout the week and just be able to pause and be present and be able to be with family and friends and breathe. Most important of all is to take some moments of breathing. Because, we work so hard all throughout the week, and just to take this moment for ourselves. Well, this morning for our Shabbat service, part of today, obviously, is that we're celebrating as a young man becomes a bar mitzvah. So Max's today becoming bar mitzvah, which means he is becoming a son of the commandments. Bar, son, mitzvah, commandment. So meaning that he's taking on the responsibilities of being a young adult in the Jewish community. And one of those responsibilities is to help lead us in our Shabbat worship. So in order for us to know what's happening, this is not a performance. We're all going to sit here and participate together, which means that now you need to know what's going on and why. At least, well, what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with your prayer books. Now, your prayer books are for you guys underneath your seats. So AJ, there you go. And otherwise, it's right in front of you. And Max, I'm going to borrow yours for a moment, okay? Because I'm going to talk about this. So the prayer book is called Mishkan Tefillah. Did you find one? There you go. Perfect, AJ. All right, so Mishkan Tefillah is our prayer book of the Reform movement. And what do you guys notice that's different? Yeah, all of a sudden you looked at the prayer book going, whoa, this is bizarre. What's different about it than any other book? It's upside down or backward, exactly. Don't worry, no wrong answers here. You're good. So it's backward, all right? It's upside down. Well, that's only if we only think of things from a Hebrew perspective, or from an English perspective, excuse me. But from Hebrew, it's the right direction. Because with Hebrew, we read Hebrew from right to left instead of left to right like we read English. Therefore, the book opens the opposite way. Now, throughout the prayer book, if you notice, just open anywhere in the prayer book. In the middle, you'll see Hebrew. And there's two different columns. One column, the column on the right-hand side, has all of the Hebrew letters and the Hebrew words. Then, on the left-hand column, you'll see English transliteration. Now, if you just look at it, it looks like gibberish if you don't know Hebrew. But it's how it helps us to pronounce the Hebrew words. Because not everybody knows how to read the Hebrew letters. And so we want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. Below it is the English translation, though. So the English translation, because we're not going to read everything that we do in Hebrew, we're not also going to do in English, because if we did that, it would be a really, really long service, and Max would be yelling at me at some point going, really? So now, the thing is with Max's prayer book, his prayer book is very different in that he has the Hebrew in there, but he does not have the transliteration. Her eyes got really big. This is awesome. And that is because Max has been studying Hebrew for a long time, and he knows how to read it. So that's what's different with his prayer book, along with the fact that his prayer book is also the complete prayer book of the Reform movement. So it includes services for Shabbat, for weekdays, and for festivals. So therefore, there are a lot more pages to it. It's a heavier prayer book. We're working on it as your weightlifting, right? So, but that means that his page numbers are a little bit different than yours. If you look at the bottom of your pages, you'll see that there's two different sets of page numbers. There's page numbers in blue and page numbers in black. We're going to be calling out the page numbers in blue because that's going to correspond to Max's prayer book. So that way it will keep all of us on the same page. There you are. So, all right, here you go, Max. Now, we're going to be singing. We invite you to join along in the singing. If you don't know the words or not comfortable sounding them out, Lai works very well. Max will invite you to read along. Please do so. Participate with him. Because prayer is a time for us to participate together. And also, there are going to be times where we'll invite you to stand. It's a way of our showing respect before God. And also, there'll be moments where come on, there you go, it's all good. So there'll be times where we will be bowing in humble reverence before God as well. So there's some choreography that happens. There's also what we wear. So we have the kippah, right? The yarmulke, the head covering. It reminds us of, what'd you say? It's a pancake? It's a green pancake. That's what it looks like. There you go. Well, it's kind of rounded too, so it fits really nicely on your head. And it does. It says Max Samuel Weber, April 21st, 2018. Pretty cool. And it matches your glasses, AJ. I love it. There you go. So, but it reminds us of God's presence all around us. And also the prayer shawl, the talit. We are commanded to wear fringes on the corners of our garment. These fringes are called tzitzit. The tzitzit remind us, when we look at them, of the 613 commandments that there are in the Torah. Not just 10. Those are the top 10. But the 613 total commandments in Torah. Now, we can't fulfill all of them, but we're still commanded to learn about them and to learn our history, and also to ask how can we apply the commandments and the laws and Jewish tradition and ritual in our lives today. So, as a young woman becomes a bat mitzvah, she receives her first talit, and as a young man becomes a bar mitzvah, he receives his first talit. So exactly, come on over, Max. And I'd like to invite forward Donald Weber to come and to present Max with his first talit.
Max, all these years you have made us very proud. Both all your grandparents, the Goodmans, the Webers, your mom, your dad, and today I know you're going to even make us more proud with the recital of your Haftorah. And I'd like to present you with this talis, so you always remember the traditions and your heritage of the Jewish faith. And by the way, this was the same talis that your father wore at his bar mitzvah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahatitef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, eternal soul of the universe, who makes us holy through the commandments and commands us to wear fringes on the corners of our garment. Mazel tov. Wonderful. You may, actually, why don't you stay right here with me? Okay, because we are going to turn to page 186 as we join together with Modeh Moda Ani.
Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shehechezata bi nishmati bechem lam, Rabba emunatecha. Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shehechezata bi nishmati bechem lam, bechem lam, Rabba emunatecha, Rabba emunatecha.
Well, we give thanks for so many of our blessings, and including the blessings of family and friends who are here with us. And we know that there are some family and friends who are not able to join with us locally, but you are with us virtually. So to all of those who are streaming into services, we welcome you. Especially, we welcome Grandma Myra, Aunt Sid, Miss Martha, and Kelly, Allie, and Chris. So Max, say Shabbat Shalom to all of them at the camera.
Hello.
There you go. Perfect. We're glad that you're streaming in with us as well. Now, there are so many blessings in our lives, and especially today, Max marks a very, very special blessing in your class. You today stand here as a bar mitzvah as the final student from your whole class. So I want to invite up your classmates from Temple Beth Sholom. Guys, come on up. Come surround your friend over here. Bring your prayer books, please, because we are going to turn to page 198. Yep, Shay also, absolutely. Perfect. Come on up. It's awesome because you are the final one to receive talit. And so come on over, guys. All the way here. You come right here in the middle. Perfect. Okay. Come on, guys. You gather around him. Beautiful. As we turn to page 198, our minhag for these blessings is we recite them first The first line in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and then the English. You'll start to hear the rhythm of the blessing. Feel free to join along with us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given us the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
Amen. Yasher koach, everybody. Thank you very much. You may return to your seats as we turn to page 224, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ועל דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון וביומייכון וחיי כל בית ישראל בהגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו.
אמן.
יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ביעלמה וימרו.
Amen. So we turn to page 226. Please rise for Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh, bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'rei shit. Ma ravu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechokma asita. Mal ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al sheva ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'ore or sheva she'asita yefa'arucha selah.
Or Chadash, Ad Zion Ta'ir. 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 V'nizke kulanu mehera le'oro. V'nizke kulanu mehera le'oro. Or Chadash, Ad Zion Ta'ir. Or Chadash, Ad Zion Ta'ir.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer Hamarot. Please join me on page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchutzo Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchutzo Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
Please be seated. We continue chanting together the Ve'ahavta on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha ayom alvavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam uv'lechtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha
וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו מה עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, להיות קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We continue on page 240 singing Mi Chamucha.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Shira chadasha shibechu geulim, לשמחה אספת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Tzu Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, ופדחי נאומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גאה ישראל.
Amen. We continue on page 242.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevii Geula livnei livneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, לחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הצל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, Umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nehemana talachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kishem shemakdishim oto b'shmei maram, kakatuv al yad neviecha, v'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch kol haaretz, kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai, mimekomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Zion, ledor vador. Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagir golecha, ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipiru lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We join together at the bottom of page 250 as we sing Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue on page 253. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
We continue on page 255. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levacha v'yira na'avod.
Please join me on page 257. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim Anachnulah. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Modim Anachnulah. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim Anachnulah. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim Anachnulah. For our high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim Anachnulah. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim Anachnulah. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim Anachnulah. We pray that we may live not by our fears but by our hopes, not by our words but by our deeds. Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'chana'el lehodot. As we continue now with Sim Shalom, page 258, we invite you to join along and sing with us.
Sim Shalom, Tova u'Racham, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, v'yako Yisrael, v'yako Yisrael amecha. B'cheinu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad, ve'od panecha, ki me'od panecha natzata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova u'racha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael, ve'ako Yisrael amecha. Torah chaim ve'ahavat chesed, ve'ahavat chesed, u'tzedaka u'racha ve'rachamim, ve'chayim ve'shalom. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova u'racha, chen v'chesed ve'rachamim aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael, ve'ako Yisrael amecha. V'tov, v'tov me'echa, le'varech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael, ve'ako Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
We continue with my favorite prayer, silent meditation.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
So after Max's favorite prayer, I love it when they make the service their own. It's good. It is now this section, this time of Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the order of reading Torah. And there's a reason why we call it Seder Kriyat HaTorah, an order of reading it, because, well, we read it in order. We start at the very beginning, usually in the fall, with Simchat Torah, and we read all the way through the Torah throughout an entire year. But what's Torah? Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. It's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. All of it contained within one scroll. And these words have been written down and read and studied and wrestled with for over 3,000 years. If you think about it, this whole idea of having these words that have been passed on from generation to generation, the exact same words, they're still relevant to our lives today. Even one of the most challenging Torah portions of the entire year, Max got to tackle the most challenging Torah portion of the entire year, called Tazria Metzora. I am not going to tell you what it's all about. That is going to be his job. Because today, Max, you are our teacher. You've been a student for Torah, and you're going to be a student for the rest of your life. We all are students, by the way. Nobody knows everything, except for maybe mom and dad. But here's the thing. You will always be a student of Torah. And today, Max will be teaching us from this Torah portion. It's actually a double portion, Tazria Metzora, what these words that have been passed on from generation to generation mean to us. How do we take these ancient words and be able to understand what their purpose is for us in our lives in the year 2018? What we can glean from them? What is it that we can struggle with? And how can we grow from them? Because Torah is called an Eitz Chaim, a tree of life. And so therefore, a tree is always growing, it's always changing, it's always developing, just as a young man Max, you will not stop growing and changing ever. You will always be developing into this wonderful human being who's always learning and always discovering things and also teaching. So let us begin this great journey of our Torah as we are going to turn now in our prayer books all the way to page 362, and we share in this wonderful moment of Torah.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל עמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Throughout our Torah service, we're going to have a number of family and friends who are going to be participating with different honors. Honors from opening ark doors, honors from holding the Torah cover and its binder, honors from actually reading the blessings and the translation of Torah. And so let us begin this wonderful moment of honoring so many loved ones with acknowledging, first of all, with holding the Torah cover and the binder later on, but they're going to stay seated for right now, Sam and Gavin McGrath. And hi, guys, you're over there. Perfect. And then Vicki Weber and Zachary Weber. You guys are going to help out with that as well. We're going to be passing Torah from one generation to the next, this great gift that has been passed on one generation and onward. Edward and Lynette Goodman, I'm going to invite you all to come and stand right here in front of the bima, along with Donald and Vicki Weber and Joan House, followed, of course, by Keith and Andy right here, and then Max. You're going to come down as well. Leave your prayer book right there, my friend. No, you're going to stay right down here. Yeah, I'm going to bring it down to you guys. I'm going to read Torah to you. Perfect. And you're just going to stand right here, facing everybody else. Perfect. Here, scooch down this way just a little bit. There we go. Awesome. Fantastic. And I need to now have our ark openers come on up. So if I can please have AJ and Zachary come on up, gentlemen. Now, I know there's something that you really, really like to do. Come here, boys. Okay, I need you to come right up here. Okay, now face everybody, because if we're going to open the ark doors, everybody needs to stand. Now, I taught you all this, how to do this last night. Yes, okay, so do it like you mean it, though. Come on, gentlemen. You ready? Go for it. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Please rise. Go ahead and open up the doors.
היטיב רצונך את ציון, תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים, כי לך לבד בטחנו, מלך הרם ונישא אדון עולמים.
As we continue on page 364, כי מציון.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. Page 366.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו, שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו, גדלו Adonai iti, uneromima shemo yachtav.
All right, Zachary and AJ, you guys stay up here, okay? You can turn around, you can face, and you can see everybody over there. Perfect. You stay right there. You're my guardians of the ark for right now. And so, it is this Torah, this wonderful gift that has been passed on generation to generation. And it is Torah that the words, the letters have never changed. We're told we can't change them. But what changes is how we understand them, how we interpret them, how we teach them. So, each of you, you have been the holders of Torah. You have embraced it. It has been a part of your life. You are teachers of it. You take these words and you weave them into a fine tapestry, being able to pass it from one generation to the next with emotion and love. So today, Keith, you and Andy, you give this most precious gift to your son. Max, this is yours. It belongs to you, my friend. You got it? Bring this one down a little bit more. No, that's okay. I'm just going to help you right there, kiddo. Because it's all yours. Hold on to it, embrace it, and love it. May its weight keep you rooted in who you are, and may it always lift you up higher, inspiring you to always be the best you, as we walk now in the light of Torah.
Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol v'shamayim uva'aretz ki chol v'shamayim uva'aretz lecha Adonai הממלכה והעמית נעשה לכל ראש. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
Okay, so good job, gentlemen. Perfect. Before you're seated, so you guys stay right up there, and then I'll let you, because you want to do the be seated sign in a second. Okay, so hold on, because not everybody's going to be seated. If you would like to come up and see the Torah up close and personal, feel free, come on up at this time. Come gather around here. So anybody who wants to come up, feel free. No problem. Come on up. Don't be shy. Come on up. There you go. Fantastic. And for those of you who don't want to, gentlemen, you can tell them to be seated. There you go. Now you can go back to your seats. Or you can stay up here too. You gonna stay there? Okay, cool. Come on up. Come on up. I promise there's no electric barrier. You're good. Hi, guys. Why don't you go ahead and go up there too? So that way, yeah, because you guys have seen this. Perfect. All right. Hi, Jack. Nice. Minecraft. Perfect. Let's make sure we let those who haven't been here before. Here, you know what? Oh, I'm going to help. Boop. There you go.
So smart.
Then you can see. Don't be, it's good. I promise. It's strong. No, you don't need it? Okay. Hi. Come closer. It's all good because you can sit in the front. It's all right. You can block everybody else. It's okay. So, all right. So a Torah scroll. First of all, it's a scroll, right? And so being a scroll, who's right back here? Do you want to come stand right here and then you can see? No, nobody's going to take me up on it. All right. I got a big, there you go. Perfect. All right. So it's a scroll, which means you can come up, Dad. It's okay. Or you can sit, whatever you like. Dad's like, what do I do? You can be seated. You can stand, whatever you like. There you go. Perfect. So the scroll, because it's a scroll, should be bound together. If it's not bound together, it's really unwieldy and a little bit difficult to handle. So all of our B'nai Mitzvah students on a retreat during last fall, they made their Torah binders. And so Max made his Torah binder. Yeah, I know. He likes yellow. It's awesome. I know. So that way, the Torah is bound with a little bit of Max. So pretty cool. Now, a Torah has to be handwritten. You cannot produce a Torah via computer. Okay, you can't put it through a printer. First of all, it is made with, actually, will you hold that for me? You're in charge of that now. Perfect. All right. So it's made from parchment. Parchment comes from a kosher animal. All right. So, all right, ladies, you ready? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm putting you on spot. Okay. Kosher animal needs two things. What are they?
Cleft hooves, choose its cud.
Perfect. Cleft hooves and choose their cud. Chewing its cud? Yeah. You know what that's all about? Yeah. Okay, we won't talk about it. It's disgusting. It's a digestive process, really, of the animal. So think about a cow, okay? Multiple stomachs. Yeah, there you go. So that's what a kosher animal is. So this parchment comes from the skin of a kosher animal. What's cool with this Torah scroll, with this parchment, is you can see the different coloration that comes from the coloration of the animal. Now, a scribe, also known as a sofer, is, Jack, will you hold that there? Perfect. And would you like to hold that right there? Awesome. A scribe is a person who's going to write a Torah scroll, handwrite it. Phil, you come around to the front. Feel free, so you can see. It's all good. So they're going to write it with a quill, which is a feather, and they're going to make ink. Has to come from natural ingredients, and the natural ingredients include things like gall nuts. That a wasp will lay its eggs into a tree, create that gall nut. And so you take that off of the tree, you grind it up, you mix it with some different oil and berries and other ingredients, natural ingredients, boil it, cool it, boil it, cool it, boil it, cool it over a year. So it takes a year to make indelible ink. This ink is going to last for a very long time. Now, this is our newest Torah scroll. It's about 14 years old. But we have Torah scrolls in there that are over 100 years old. And we're in the process of restoring our Torah scroll that comes from Czechoslovakia. So from the Czech Republic, it is over 300 years old. And the writing is still clear because we take very good care of it and because of that indelible ink. So, and then I'm going to ask if you don't mind, after we're done with this, no more flash photography. That would be wonderful. Thank you. You're blinded by the light. Okay, sorry. I do that. Anyway, so that indelible ink there, what's interesting, though, what's different is, unlike paper, the ink is not going to sink into it, all right? It's going to sit on top of it. We had a fire here in our congregation over 4 years ago that thankfully the flames were contained back in the kitchen, but the smoke and the heat affected in here as well. In fact, we've completely rebuilt, but it affected it so much so that when the scribe came to check our Torah scrolls, he went ahead and he was flicking the letters right off the parchment because it sucked out all of the moisture from the parchment. So the scrolls needed to be repaired, and most of them have been. We still have a couple beside the check one that need to be repaired as well. Now, there's one other ingredient in the ink that gives it its shine, and that is honey. Yay! Torah should be sweet as honey. So sweet as honey on our tongues, that, it should always be this wonderful, sweet thing to be learning. Now, Torah has to be written the exact same way. You cannot change anything. That is one of the laws. You can't change a word. You can't add the vowels or any of the, oh, she's good. She's fine. She's totally fine. She's got it. So you can't change any of the vowel, or you can't add any vowels. You can't add punctuation. There are no vowels. There's no punctuation in here. So unlike your prayer book, so you saw those little dots and dashes on the letters or below them, above them, there are no vowels in here. If I gave you all something to read in English without any vowels, you'd be able to read it because you know English. So when the Israelites, when the Jews left Israel and they were dispersed to all different countries and started speaking different languages, they lost some of that Hebrew, how to read it and understand it. You change a vowel, you change the meaning of a word. So therefore, the rabbis created a vowel system to make sure that we pronounce it correct. But what was the rule with the Torah? Not allowed to change anything. So we can't add any vowels or anything. So when we read from Torah, when Max comes and reads from Torah here, he is reading without vowels, without punctuation, and without a net. Well, actually, he's got a net. It's called the Gabai. And that is Cantor and I will be next to him. We have the pointed text as well. So, that way if we make a mistake, if we change a word, we change the meaning of it, then we go ahead and we correct each other on it. Because we're only human, right? Exactly. So, now, something really important and cool to see. You want to do something with it? Come here. All right. So now, we use, because we don't want to, you can come right up here too. She shares, I bet. Awesome. So, one of the cool things, first of all, is that we don't want to use our fingers because you can see there's lots of lines here, right? And it's easy to get lost in all of that. So we use this right here. So this is going to be your thing first. What does that look like? Yeah. This is called a yod. Do you know what the Hebrew word yod means in English? You just said it. Hand. Pretty cool, huh? So this, we use a yod to help us follow along, because I don't want to follow along with my finger, because if I keep doing that, the oils in my finger will then mix with the ink, and that'll break down the ink. And I want it to last for hundreds of years. The other really cool thing, this is for you. What's your name? Abby. Hi, Abby. All right, so here's the cool thing. When the scribe prepares the parchment, they go ahead and they etch in lines, okay, to keep everything straight here. And then they put lines where all the lines are. Do you see that, where the lines of Hebrew are? Okay, so you see the letters? See the line? See the line? Are the letters sitting on the line, or are they hanging from the line? Yeah, they're hanging from the line. Good job, Abby. So the cool thing with that, it's different than how we write. We're taught to write on the line. But instead, you write from hanging from the line. There's a midrash, there's a story that we're taught, that line represents the division between heaven and earth. We are the letters. We're the people that, those letters. So we are there between heaven and earth, and we're always striving to get a little bit closer toward holiness, a little bit closer toward God. So therefore, that's why the letters hang from the line. Now, if a scribe makes a mistake as they're writing it, they have to try to scrape it off and repair it. What happens if they can't repair it? What do they have to do? Yes? They have to redo the entire thing. Thankfully, only that sheet. Good job. They only have to redo that sheet. They can, so not the entire Torah. Oh, yeah, oh my gosh, the end of Deuteronomy. Oh, jeez. No, just that sheet. And you can see the sheets are actually sewn together. They're sewn together with sinew. So in fact, here, let's go this way a little bit, ladies. There you go. Awesome. And so they're sewn together right here with sinew, which comes also from the animal. And that's how we put together a Torah. Any questions?
How do you keep it so that moisture is at a certain temperature and a certain light, and like to maximize the longevity of it?
So we make sure that this space is, is a good temperature. We make sure that if we were in a very, very dry climate, we would make sure that there's a humidifier as well. But fortunately, we already have some natural humidity here. The other thing that we are starting to do is creating a group called the Holy Rollers. Anybody can be a Holy Roller, meaning that what we need to do is we need to move our Torah scrolls. So this Torah scroll, because we use it all the time, we're constantly moving it. We're constantly scrolling it, right? If I don't scroll it, then what happens is the letters are against the parchment, and they're tight. And eventually what can happen is it can pull away. And so what we're asking people to come in and do is if they have a few minutes, come in, grab a Torah, and roll the Torah, so that way it's moving, it's constantly moving, so we don't end up with that kind of a situation. So we're calling ourselves the Holy Rollers. So that's how you preserve it. We also have a scribe come in and check the Torahs regularly now. And if you want, you can come in. Our scribe is going to be here May 15th and 16th working on our check Torah scroll. So you can see how they actually do it with the quill and everything and the ink, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Anything else? Did I miss anything, ladies? No, you don't think so? Okay, cool. They've heard my spiel enough. All right. Perfect. Well, thank you guys very much. You may return to your seats. Thank you, ladies, for your help. You're welcome. Yeah, you can go back to your seat now. Thanks, AJ. Perfect. Oh, I got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Oh, thank you. Oh, actually, will you hold on to that for me? And when we go to dress the Torah, will you come up and give that to me? Perfect. You'll know, because I'm going to lift the Torah way up high like that. Okay, and then you come up, and then we'll dress it up. Thank you. Fantastic. All right. So, with all that, we are going to start for our reading of Torah. Oh, there it is. And we're reading from, as I said, Parashat Tazria Metzora, the book of Leviticus.
For our first aliyah, we will call up to chant the blessing Edward Goodman, Yehudas Natan ben Yosef v'Chana, Lynette Goodman, Leah Doby bat Shlomo v'Zelda, and Sherry Rebecca McGrath, Hinda Pesca bat Leah Doby v'Yehudas Natan. Reading the English translation, Joan House, Yehuda bat Avram v'Goldi. Ya'amdu l'aliyah harishona.
If you will take your seat, please. And you're going to touch it to the first word that I'm going to be reading. There you go. Perfect. And here you all go.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Ve'im dal hu ve'ein yado maseget v'lakach keves echad isham letunufa lechaper alav va'isaron solat echad belul v'shemen lemincha v'log shemen u'shtei tarim o shnei b'nei yona asher tasig yado v'haya echad chatat v'ha'echad olah והביא אותם ביום השמיני לטהרתו אל הכהן, אל פתח אוהל מועד לפני אדוני. And then Joan, if you will. Yeah, why don't you come this way because my microphone doesn't totally bend that way. There you go.
Nope.
There you are.
Okay. And if he is poor and his means are insufficient, then he shall take one lamb for a guilt offering to be waived, as atonement for him, and 1/10 of a measure of fine flour mixed with oil for a meal offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, whichever is within his means. One shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. And he shall bring them on the 8th day of his cleansing to the priest, to the entrance of the tent of meeting, before Adonai.
Great, thank you very much. And if you all come back over here real quick, and Lifnei Adonai, Tzadza.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan לנו Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'torahenu, baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. You're welcome. Yasher koach. You did. Yasher koach. Thank you.
For our second Aliyah, chanting the blessing, Gregory Wershing, Tzvi Ruvain ben Vichna Fagel, and Allison Kliegman, Chaya Bat Rachamim Moshe Vishprinzel. Reading the English translation, Matthew Applebaum, Mordechai ben Moshe Umiriam.
Who'd like to don talit? Yay, perfect. All yours. Perfect. And Cantor will show you the first word.
Okay. So
Yes,
just touch it with the string.
And give it a little kiss. Perfect. And here is your blessing.
Baruch hu et Adonai hambarach.
Baruch Adonai hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'lakach hakohen et keves ha'asham v'et log hashamen v'heniף אותם hakohen tinufa lifnei Adonai v'shachat et keves ha'asham v'lakach hakohen midam ha'asham v'natan al tinuch ozen hamitahel hayemanit ועל בוהן ידו הימנית, ועל בוהן רגלו הימנית. ומן השמן יצוק הכהן, על כף הכהן השמאלית.
So Matthew.
The priest shall take the lamb of the guilt offering and the log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before Adonai. Then he shall kill the lamb of the guilt offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the guilt offering, and put it on the tip of the right ear of the one who is to be cleansed, as well as on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand.
Go ahead and take your seat once again. And that's the last word. Perfect. Awesome.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher koach. Yasher koach. Sure, I'll take that. You're welcome. See you next time.
For our third Aliyah, chanting the blessing, Jake Posnak, Gedalia ben Etelmina, and Brooke Posnak, Brina Michal bat Etelmina. Reading the English translation, Abby Posnak, Etelmina bat Sprinze Gedalia.
We let the poor thing with the vegan. All right. So if you'll take your seat to the first word. Perfect.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vehizah HaKohen betzba'o ha'yimanit min hashemen asher al kapo hasmalit sheva pe'amim lifnei Adonai v'natan HaKohen mid shemen asher al kapo al tanuch ozen hamitaher ha'imanit ve'al bohen yado ha'imanit ve'al bohen raglo ha'imanit al mekom dam ha'asham ve'hanotar min hashemen asher al kaf hakohen yitein al rosh hamitaher lechaper alav lifnei Adonai.
And the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Adonai. Then the priest shall put some of the oil that is in his hand on the tip of the right ear of the one who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, and on the same places as the blood of the quilt offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of the one who is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before Adonai.
If you'll take it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesh koach. Yesh koach. All right, Andy and Keith, come on up here. Come join us, because you want to see this. You want to be a part of this. Because this is this moment that we have been waiting for a while, so you can be close. There you go. Don't be afraid. It's all good.
Ya'amod habachur habar mitzvah Avram Shlomo ben David ve'aviv alav al aliyah haTorah.
Okay, we will. Here, give me this. You can find yours.
Mark your first word with the CC, so grab one of the string.
Yeah.
The corners. Yep. You got it.
I think it's.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Andy, go ahead and hold on to there. There you go.
Ve'asa et ha'echad min ha'torim, o min b'nei hayonah, me'asher tasig yado, et asher tasig yado, et ha'echad chatat, ve'et ha'echad ola al hamincha, ve'hiper ha'kohen, ve'et ha'echad lifnei Adonai, zot Torat, asher bo negar tzaraat, asher lo tasig yado v'tahorato.
Yasher koach. Nice.
I messed up.
You got it. You got it. Do the English now. English. Right here.
You shall then offer one of the turtle doves or pigeons, depending on his means, whichever he can afford. The one as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering, together with the meal offering. Thus the priest shall make expiation before Adonai for the one being cleansed. Such is the ritual for him who has a scaly affection and whose means for his cleansing are limited. Baruch wait. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, mazel tov. You may give mom and dad a big hug. There you go.
There were so many mistakes in that.
Look at me. Look at me. Okay. There you go. Mom and Dad, you may go over back to your seats. And we're going to stay right here as we're going to take a moment as we have the Torah before us to also offer up a blessing of healing for those in our lives, from our community, who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. I invite you as I recite this blessing to please think about all of those people, those whom we know and those who we take into our hearts as well. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. As we turn now to page 370 in our prayer books, I'm going to go ahead and move yours actually, just to right under here. So as we're going to give honor to the Torah, and so I want to invite up at this time those of you who are holding that Torah cover and the Torah binder. I'm going to need those, and also Mark and Jennifer Weber. If you will come up, please. Perfect. Mark, you're going to be our Torah holder, and Jennifer, you're going to accompany him and have a seat next to him there. Perfect. And now we're going to invite everyone to please rise as we give honor to the Torah.
וזאת התורה ששם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Now, ladies, come over here. I need your help now. Do you remember how we've told everybody how to be seated? Right? Hands up high. There you go. Right? Go ahead for it. Good job. Go back to your seats.
All right. The Haftarah for Parshat Mizorah is 2 Kings chapter 7 verses 3 through 9. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim uvratza v'divreihem hanehemarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo Uv-Yisrael amo, uv-Nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'arba'a anashim hayu mitzora petach hasha'ar v'imru ish el ra'ehu ma anachnu yoshvi'im po admatnu. There were 4 men, lepers, outside the gate. They said to one another, "Why should we sit here waiting for death? If we decide to go into the town, what with the famine in the town, we shall die there. And if we just sit here, still we die. Come, let us desert to the Aramean camp. If they let us live, we shall live, and if they put us to death, we shall but die." They set out at twilight for the Aramean camp. But when they came to the edge of the Aramean camp, there was no one there. For Adonai had caused the Aramean camp to hear a sound of chariots, a sound of horses, the din of a huge army. They said to one another, "The king of Israel must have hired the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Mitzrayim to attack us." And they fled headlong into the twilight, abandoning their tents and horses and donkeys, the entire camp just as it was, as they fled for their lives. When those lepers came to the edge of the camp, they went into one of the tents and ate and drank. Then they carried off silver and gold and clothing from there and buried it. Then they came back and went into another tent, and they carried off what was there and buried it. Then they said to one another, "We are not doing right. This is a day of good news, and we are keeping silent. If we wait until the light of morning, we shall incur guilt. Come, let us go and inform the king's palace." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzaddik b'chol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'osei ha'medaber u'mekayeh she'kol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatatan lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'limnucha lechavod ultifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umevarchim otah, yitbarach shimcha, befi kol hai, tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mechadesh ha-shabbat.
Yasher koach. Beautifully done. Breathe. There it is. Okay. As now we get to return our Torah to the Ark, we're going to turn it back in our prayer books now to page 374. Mark and Jennifer, if you guys will come and join us up at the Ark, please. I will take this one from you. If you'll come open the Ark doors for us, and if everyone will please rise.
Hodu al'eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren ne'ambo tehila lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekach tov natati lachem torati al ta'azovu. Et chaim hi lamachazigim ba v'tomcheha meushar. Deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu kekedem.
So, Mark, Zach really likes this. I discovered this last night. So you and Jennifer, exactly. So you and Jennifer, you get to now do that to have everybody be seated. Go ahead. There you go. See? Transfers, yeah, that was very good. Oh, now, yeah, exactly. I've wanted to do that, let me tell you, but yeah, now. Thank you. You're welcome. Mazel tov. No. Here you go, my friend.
So, back when I lived in West Virginia, my parents had a coworker who would hang cartoons on his door. One of these cartoons was about a father and his two sons of about 7 and 15 years old trying unsuccessfully to see a ball game. The problem was, the boys were not tall enough to see over the fence that surrounded the field. They tried two solutions to solve this problem using 3 boxes of equal height. First, all 3 people had their own box to stand on. However, this solution did not work for everyone. While the oldest son was now able to watch the game, the younger brother still could not see over the fence, while the father could practically jump over it. So they tried something different. The father gave the youngest son his box. Now the father had no boxes, the older brother had 1 box, and the younger brother had 2 boxes. Now everybody was able to see over the fence. This cartoon demonstrates the concept of equality versus equity. Equality is when everyone gets the same thing. It was equality in the first example when the father and all his sons all got the same amount of boxes. But, as previously stated, this solution did not work out for the youngest son. Equity, on the other hand, is when everyone gets exactly what they need. This was the case when the father gave the youngest son his box. There are some things in my life that relate back to this lesson as well. For instance, I used to volunteer at a rescue organization to help cats get adopted. Normally at the organization, a cat might get adopted in a month or 2. Kittens might get adopted in a couple weeks. But there was one cat named Sassy who was waiting to get adopted for over a year. She was a beautiful cat but was older and had a lot of surgeries and, to be honest, was a little on the grumpy side. So we had to put in a lot of extra effort to get people to give her a chance. This is another example of equity. Even though we put more work into trying to get Sassy adopted than the other cats, this is what she needed. We had to work harder to find her a good family. This issue of equality versus equity is also relevant on a larger scale. I learned from this week's Torah portion that it was ingrained in Jewish tradition since ancient times. A quick summary of the portion. It describes the treatment of those with leprosy and the rituals involved in pregnancy and puberty. In this speech, I'll be talking about the payment for the treatment of leprosy. Fun fact, people went to priests and clergy for treatment of leprosy because they did not think that leprosy was an illness. Instead, they thought of this disease as punishment for wrongdoings, such as gossip, murder, and slander. Yes, that's right. People in ancient times thought that gossip and slander were equal to murder. Ancient times were weird. Going back to the main point, priests and clergy expected different payments from each person depending on how wealthy they were. They were instructed by the Torah to consider offerings of whichever he can afford. The Torah states, he shall then offer one of the turtle doves or pigeons depending on his means. Such is the ritual whose means for his cleansing are limited. Basically, the Torah is saying, the treatment costs this, but if you can't afford it, you can pay this instead. Again, this is an example of equity. This lesson is also relevant in contemporary society. Currently, there is a debate over whether or not we should tax the rich more than the poor, and what to do with people who cannot afford the high cost of healthcare. Following Jewish tradition, I believe that all individuals should have access to basic healthcare and should be charged, as said in the Torah, whichever he can afford. To me, being Jewish means believing in social justice. Social justice is standing up for people who may not be able to stand up for themselves. For instance, once I made a series of phone calls to a number of politicians about proposed cuts in funding for special needs programs. I currently am not a part of any special needs programs. I did it because it was the right thing to do and it was better for everybody. This was also an equitable thing to do. These programs give certain kids the help they need to be on par with everybody else. Now that I'm becoming a bar mitzvah, I'm an adult in the eyes of Judaism and a part of the Jewish community, and it will be my responsibility to uphold this value of social justice. This means continuing to stand up for those who need help, such as children who depend on special needs programs. And here at TBS, my B'nai Mitzvah group and I work to package meals to help feed the hungry. As a bar mitzvah, I promise to continue to look for avenues such as these to offer my efforts. I also believe that as Jews, we need to look to defend social justice for more than just people. As an animal lover, I believe that we also have a responsibility to help our furry friends. There are a lot of dogs and cats that need assistance that they are incapable of asking for. So do you remember the cat Sassy I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson? Well, a few months ago, a couple came into the store looking for a cat and took an interest in Sassy. I spoke with them for a long time about her and her needs. The couple came back the next day and adopted her. She's now living happily in her forever home. She deserved a good family just as much as any other pet. That's why my Bar Mitzvah project is about helping other pets that might be having hard times finding homes. You may have noticed in my invitation that it said, in lieu of gifts, please donate to Pets with Disabilities. Pets with Disabilities is an organization that helps pets who might have a disability or impairment that prohibits them from getting adopted under normal circumstances. They are a small, family-owned rescue organization dedicated to helping and promoting the adoption of physically disabled animals into good homes. In order to get adopted, these pets need their own organization to help them. Unlike ordinary pets, who have a good chance of getting adopted from any rescue organization, Pets with Disabilities recognizes the extra needs of these animals. Just like with Sassy, these pets did not have an equal opportunity to get adopted in a regular shelter. They need more support. These special pets require additional resources to help them. This is yet another example of equity. Pets with Disabilities gives these animals what they need. Before I finish, I want to thank some important people for helping me out. First, I want to thank my Hebrew tutor, Carl, even though he didn't come up and say the prayers for me like he had promised. Who helped me while I was struggling and constantly made me laugh. Cantor Reinwald, who was patient with me even when I had a hard time focusing and made all of this possible. My dad always says that Cantor must have the patience of Job, even though I have no idea what that means. But thank you anyway. Rabbi Heidi for always believing in me and for helping me interpret this difficult portion so that I didn't have to talk about leprosy and I almost talked about it. My grandparents for always being so kind. Grandpapa, I always have fun hanging out with you guys. Grandma, I love talking to you on the phone every day as I'm walking home from school. And Poppy Donnie and Grandma Vicky, I can't wait to hang out with you at your futuristic evil lair in Florida. I want to give a special shout out to my Aunt Sherry, who knows how difficult this particular Torah portion is because she had to suffer through it on her bat mitzvah. I also want to thank Sam and Gavin, my cousins, for being the smallest people here. I like how tall it makes me look when I stand next to you guys. My parents, of course, for always supporting me and being there for me no matter what. Dad, watching movies with you is a blast. Mom, I love to read with you and also read more books. And finally, I want to thank all of you for being with me on this special day. I know some of you traveled very far to be here. Some of you even came from the other side of the country, like New York, Florida, and even my old home, West Virginia. I'm Megan Dillow. It feels really good to see all of you here together. The next time you find yourself thinking something isn't fair, think about the little boy looking over the fence. Think about Sassy. Think about all the pets who are struggling to find their forever home. And most importantly, think about what you can do to make the world a more equitable place. What do I do with this now?
Max, as you know, when I was 25 weeks pregnant, we got some really scary news. The doctors were really concerned about your heart, and they didn't think it was developing in the right way. And so they put us in the hospital, and we had a long way to go. And we spent weeks in the hospital, vacillating between just overwhelming worry, exhaustion, and then relief with each week that passed, because with each week that passed, we knew you were safer and safer. And so 6 weeks go by, and you finally made your way into the world, and you were a whopping 4 pounds. And we called you Miracle Max. We called you Miracle Max, and we were so in awe of everything that you did, and because you had been through so much before you even took your first breath, that awe felt magnified for us. We went through so much that first year, those first few years with you. Heart specialist, developmental specialist, you had CAT scans and MRIs. You were such a trooper. And your nickname, very deservingly, was Miracle Max. And, you know, your father and I don't really call you that much more anymore. And that's us, that's on us. I know that it can't be easy having us as your parents. There are so many things that most people find very second nature and easy to do, including us. And these things are so confusing and challenging for you. But there are so many things in the world that are confusing and challenging to most people, including us, that are second nature and so easy for you. Well, as your dad always says, when you're around, we don't need smartphones because we have a smart kid that's always around to correct us when we're wrong. I'm sure Max has corrected just about everybody in here, right? At some point in time. We don't always express our appreciation of your unique perspective on the world. We are still in awe of you, your talents, your resilience. We moved you to California at such an awkward time, buddy. In the middle of middle school. Like, there's no more awkward time than that. But in these last year and a half, you've shown us your independence, your self-reliance, your strength. Leading up to today, you have shown us all of that. But more than anything, buddy, you've shown us your heart. We are proud of your talents. We are proud of your incredible mind and your unusual perspective on the world. But most of all, buddy, we are so proud of your heart. You shared that with everyone today with your beautiful sermon on social justice. And these are things that you don't just talk about, you act on. When we first met you, we were so worried about your little heart. Thank you for sharing with everybody today that your heart is big and strong and generous and kind. You are still our Miracle Max, and we love you so much. You go.
My turn.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So when Max was first born, and people found out that we had a son, people would ask me all the time, they'd say, "Oh, what's your son's name?" And I'd say Max. And people said, "Oh, that's nice. Is that short for something?" And I'd say, "No, just Max. That's his name." And people would say to me all the time, "Oh, that's nice. It's simple. It's good." And whether or not people were lying to me or not, the truth of the matter is that Max, your name, is a lot more complicated than the three letters of MAX. And the way we came up with Max's name. And I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, but the short version of it was that years before, and Max has heard this story, that's why now I'm talking to all of you. Max has heard this story. Years before Max was born, my father had given me a book to read, and it was about fathers and sons. And I didn't forget, I'm just hanging on here for a second. And it covered 3 generations of fathers and sons in the book. And the youngest character in the book was named Max. And I read the book, and my wife read the book, and at that moment, Andy and I had realized that when we had kids, that our first son, our oldest son, was going to be named Max. You know, M for my father's father, Morris, and Max for the character in the book that my father had given me about fathers and sons so many years before he was born. And the thing is, there's a lot more to the story, and I'm not going to keep going on with it, but the thing about the story is that it so fits Max. The name Max, the thing about having such a short name of Max is that unlike most other people who have nicknames that are abbreviations of his name, all of his nicknames are actually lengthening out his name. So there was Miracle Max, which was his very first nickname, and then there was Max Man, there was Max in a Can, there was Max with a Plan, there was, Maximus, we called him for a while. He had lots of different nicknames. And the thing about it is, those nicknames allow you to start sort of adding meaning to what he represents to us and what he's always represented to us. And Andy's talked about his heart and how big his heart is. But one of the things that he's always meant to me, and Max and I talk about this a lot, is how brave he is. Max has always been a very, very brave guy. And there's been a lot more bravery that I could pack into, a package of just a regular human being. And he's always been that way. I remember when Max was 3 or 4 years old, Max was never afraid of the dark. He would sleep in pitch darkness. He couldn't have a light on, he didn't have a night light, he couldn't even have a light on in the hallway, because if any light got through the crack in the door, he would go crazy. Not afraid at all, unlike most 3 or 4-year-old kids. And I remember he was never afraid of the dark, no monsters under his bed that scared him or anything like that, until, of course, he had 2 cousins that reminded him that he should be afraid of the dark. And he was very surprised by this, and he goes, am I really supposed to be afraid of the dark? And they said, yes, most 3 or 4-year-old kids are afraid of the dark, and everybody should be afraid of the dark. And from that moment on, for about the next 3 or 4 years, Mac was petrified of the dark. And we had to sleep with all the lights on, and the lights in the hallway now had to be on. He had to have his door open and the lights shining in and stuff like that. Luckily for me and my electric bill, he's grown out of that. And he's back to sleeping in the dark again, which is nice. And, but the thing about it, the point of that story is that Max didn't know he was supposed to be afraid of something. And Max has always been that way. Andy talked about his first few years and doctors and specialists, and the MRI story is when Max was not even 1, Max had to go in for an MRI. And the tech told us, kids are terrified of these things because they're sliding into a tube and it's whirling and banging and making all this noise, and it sounds like they're being loaded into an airplane. And they're strapped down because they have to strap the kids down because you can't tell a 1-year-old kid to hold still for the next 30 minutes. So they literally strap the kids down. So the tech says to me, do me a favor, just keep leaning over him as we're doing this, because it's not that he's not going to be afraid, but hopefully at least if he keeps seeing your face, he'll trust that we're not trying to hurt him. So they're strapping him down, and Max is just looking up at us with that big face and his big blue eyes, and he's not crying, he's not scared, he's just smiling up at me. And the tech says, that was amazing. He goes, but once we turn this sucker on, it starts whirling and whizzing and making all those banging noises, that's when the crying is going to start. And they turn that MRI machine on, and it's whirling and whizzing and banging and stuff like that. And Max didn't not just get scared, and he didn't not just not cry. He was laughing. He thought it was a ride at Disneyland or something like that. He winds up going in, and the whole time he's just smiling, and the tech is looking at me like just in amazement. And in fact, he was so not scared that after his smile wore off, he took a nap. Max actually took a nap in the MRI machine. He just went right to sleep, and he sat there for half an hour while they took pictures of him. And I got a lot more stories I'm not going to bore you with, but they're all like this. Max, his whole life, has been braver than I could have asked him to be. And as a parent, as Max's parent, as any parent, the thing that I've always said that I could wish for my kids, if there was one wish I could have for my kids, for both of my kids, is that what I would like them to have is I'd like them to have the strength and the fortitude and the bravery to face the challenges that they have to face in the world. It's not realistic to hope that your kid is going to overcome every challenge in the world, but what you want is you want them to have the strength and the bravery to face them all and to fight through them. And that's who Max is. Max has always represented that bravery to me. Max's biggest problem, and I've said this to him many times, is that Max undersells himself. Max doesn't believe enough in himself sometimes. And I've always wished, and I said, the one wish I really could have is that you could spend just 5 minutes just seeing yourself through my eyes, through our eyes, so that you could see what it is that makes you so special and so unique. And so much of it is, and not the least of it, is your bravery. A couple of weeks ago, I'm not going to embarrass you, but a couple of weeks ago, Max did something that was really special to me, and it really represented, and it really made me feel like my wish is coming true. So Max, and again, without bragging too much about him, got a unique opportunity to be part of a really cool academic program. And when we found out the news, Andy and I were very, very excited for Max. But we were sure that Max was going to say, I don't want to face that challenge, because it would be a very, very big challenge and a big step up for him. And we were going to let him make his own decision. We got all the information together and stuff like that and talked to him about it, but we were sure that Max was eventually going to say, I don't want to do it. Well, Max surprised us, and one day he turned around and he said to me, he goes, you know what, Dad, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take on this challenge. And I was trying to be cool about it, so I didn't jump through the roof. But I said, oh, that's cool, buddy. What led you to that decision? And what Max's response was actually the response that I'm saying makes me feel like we're really getting there, is that he said to me, I always do that to myself. I talk myself into being afraid all the time. I talk myself into being scared of things. And then when I put myself in the actual situation that I was afraid of, I realized it wasn't so bad after all, and I figure out a way to get through it. So, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. What's the worst they can do to me? And that was a good catch. And that, makes me feel like today Max is becoming a bar mitzvah, and in the eyes of Jewish lore, he's becoming an adult now. And it makes me hopeful to think that now, as he's growing up into this teenager and this young man that I see standing in front of me and that I talk to all the time, that he's starting to believe in himself, and he's starting to understand how brave and how courageous he really is. Going back to the nicknames, we've had a lot of nicknames for Max. Like I said, Miracle Max. I don't know if you remember Max Samuel Weber, the big boy, was one of his nicknames that he went by for a long time. But my favorite nickname for you, Max, has always been and always will be just simply my son, Max. I love you.
So Max, you become a bar mitzvah not just in front of your family and friends, but also with your community and with your synagogue community. And it is my honor to invite forward to make some presentations to you on behalf of all of us here, representing your friends and the youth group, Yoni Cohen, and representing our board of directors, Lou Siegler, our brotherhood, Mark Borove, and our sisterhood, Sarah Schweitz. If you all will come forward.
Hey. So, first of all, I just want to say you did awesome today. I think we're all just wowed by how amazing you did today. I remember the first time that we met each other. My mom had just come downstairs and told me that a new kid is joining our 7th grade class, and that he is also going to summer camp with me. She told me that I should go call him. I didn't know that by spending an hour on the phone with someone that you could learn so much about them. I learned that you were interested in comics, but you loved Minecraft. You sounded like a nice kid, and you were moving all the way from West Virginia. When we got to camp that summer, we became instant friends. I was amazed by the fact that you came from an entirely different state and went to a sleepaway camp for a month, knowing no one there, and came out knowing everyone. I'm so honored to be able to spend this very special day with you. On behalf of the TBS youth group, I would like to present you with this Havdalah candle. May its light burn as bright as yours and help shine a path of greatness.
Probably switch positions.
Okay. Hi, Max. Mazel tov. Congratulations. You did an amazing job. It is an honor for me to be here today and celebrate this special day with you. I represent the women of Reform Judaism, the women of the sisterhood at Temple Beth Sholom. I know this is a family service. Your relatives are from out of town, your family is here, but we rejoice with you too, because we are your extended family, those of us from Temple Beth Sholom. You did an amazing job. And today is a day of blessings and a day of presents and all these good things. You deserve all of them. The comments of your parents really brought tears to my eyes. And I wish you all the very best. And for this special occasion, I have a present for you from the women, and this is a Kiddush cup. And I know from all your experiences at Hebrew school right now, you know exactly what to do with it, okay? You use it in good health from now on, every Shabbat, the high holidays. Then when you go to college, you take it with you. And after that, to graduate school. And after that, when you get married, take it with you in your own home, okay? In this order. Also, I am absolutely certain you are blessed with intelligence, with good looks, and thank God you're blessed with good health from now on. No more health challenges from now on for Max, no more. And so you're going to do great things in the years to come because you are an excellent student, I can tell. And then you have a big heart. Not only you care about your friends, but you also care about those that are not able to care about themselves. And also our friends in the animal kingdom. Now, how great is that? So the very best for you. My wish and blessing, it is appropriate for me to give you a blessing today, okay? It is that you are blessed with abundant, good health in the years to come, with happiness, with prosperity, and shalom. Mazel tov.
Max, lacking self-confidence? No way. I think your father has to say something, but you have it. You did an amazing job. I'll repeat Sarah's because you did. I knew it was going to be a great day. So last night, you are funny. You enjoy what you're doing. It makes such a big difference. I also know that you like reading computer books too. True?
Yeah.
I'm a software engineer. You can't be much more of a geek than I can be. So what I wish for you is that you get the height of Yoni. But once again, mazel tov to the parents. You should be very proud. He did a wonderful job. I'm representing Brotherhood. This is a tzedakah box, which I know what you're going to do is raise a little money for your group that you're working for all the pets. This is the Jewish piggy bank, so you can start off with the people over there on the left and just pass it around. Minimum $5 go inside each one, and that should get a good start to help those animals. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Max, I heard your father mention a number of nicknames that he's called you through the years. I'm going to add one more. Max the Mensch. You're a stand-up guy. And for the record, if anybody doubts it, he's the biggest guy in the room today. So don't worry about his height. He's the biggest guy. He stands taller over all of us. You did a great job today. I'm representing the Temple Board, which represents all of the members, not just the Brotherhood, the Sister, but all of the people in the temple, including your parents and you. And we have some gifts for you to kind of help you remember today. One is a prayer book. I believe this. The one you've been using, okay. You already got it. See, they beat me to it. Okay, they stole that. A certificate of bar mitzvah. Okay. Okay. I got to figure out where they put it
Oh,
on.
no, it's just all, it's all contained right in there.
All right.
Really easy for you.
All right.
Yeah.
A certificate of bar mitzvah, which you can look at and remember what a great job you did today. A nifty scholarship to help you get to Israel. And last but not least, a tree planted in Israel by Rabbi Cantor in remembrance of today. So forever and ever, today is going to exist. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I heard your grandparents talk about how proud they were of you, all through your life. You added to that level of pride. They're even prouder today. Great job. Thank you again. Okay.
So throughout the day, Max, I want to invite everyone to take the opportunity to bless you, to go up to him and to offer your words of blessing, that you get to carry those with you always today and into the future. So, but it's at this time that we get to offer words of blessing by Cantor and myself, and we want to invite your parents, Andy and Keith, if you guys will come up and join us at the Ark, and we'd like to invite everyone to please rise. I want your hands for a second. There you go. Nice. Tazria Matsora, I said to you, when you came to meet with me for the very first time, for us to sit down and start studying this very difficult Torah portion, which it's a double portion. You get 2 of it. And boy, we combed through Tazria Matsora. And yeah, you shared with me how your aunt also had that Torah portion. I'm sorry. But I have to tell you, not everybody can handle that challenge of Tazria Matsora. I didn't get to see your aunt's speech. I didn't get to hear what she got to teach, but I got to learn and study with you. And Max, it does. It takes a great person to really wrestle with this text that is strange and obscure, a little gross. So we had the other aunt who came up who was like, I'm a vegan, and we're what? And to ask that difficult question, what in the world do I do with this? What do I learn from this? This weird ancient ritual. What does it all mean? And you, my friend, you didn't bat an eye. You did exactly what Dad described in that MRI machine. You looked at it and laughed and said, I got this. Uh-huh. Hey, he didn't sleep during my sessions. I don't know what happened at home, you know. But you did. You embraced it. And you then taught us this beautiful lesson about equity and equality and the balance between the two and the need to be able to make sure that we strive to teach everyone and to treat everyone with fairness and kindness and compassion. And sometimes it takes treating others with a little bit more than we would someone else. But the whole point is to make everyone feel like they matter. To make sure that everyone knows that they matter. When we read in that Torah portion about the fact that not everybody can afford to bring this, so they can bring that. Because nobody should feel ashamed. Nobody should feel left out. Nobody should feel like they are sidelined. Max, you do that. If anything, if I've seen you from class to yes, up at camp, hang on, let's see if this works. Ginling Hilltop Camp. There we go. So, being up there at that camp together, you treat everyone with fairness and compassion. And you make sure that everybody feels like they're included. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that gift. Thank you for being a part of our lives. Thank you for taking a most challenging portion from Leviticus and owning it and smiling with it and teaching us. So, as you have been a blessing, we get to offer you words of blessing now, my friend. Stop walking away from us. Come closer. Come on. There you go. As we get to offer you these words of blessing from Torah that have been passed on from generation to generation, that your parents have offered to you once before and actually many times over, and that you someday will pass on to the next generation as well. But we get to surround you with it, these words of Torah. Dad, put your hands here. Mom, put your hands here. As we join together with this.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you. And may God be truly gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Max, may you always feel God's presence around you. May God give you a life that is filled with good health, with happiness, and with shalom, with peace. Kein yehi ratzon, may this be God's will. We remain standing as we turn in our prayer books now to our closing prayers. Aleinu l'shabeach which you can find in your prayer books on page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Come join us right down here as we remain standing and our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us. Yet truly, stay right up here with me. Stay right up here with me. Yet truly their memories are a blessing. We remember those who have recently departed, Mark Francis, Cecil, and Cecil Chakow. We remember those whose yahrzeits we recall on this Shabbat and during this coming week. Helen Bear, Hessie Bear, Ida Barnett, Jack Beckenstein, Toby Cohen, Issy Eidelman, Lou Enton, Harry Eifeld, Samuel Gerber, Morris Givant, Rose Goldberg, Blanche Goodman, Bernard Gotterer, Carol Grouse, Marvin Halpern, Harold Herskowitz, Lee Holloway, Jack Kleiner, Samuel Clavat, Richard Marshall, Doris Michael, Leela B. Miller, Aaron Newman, Fanny Newman Rosenbaum, Faye Perel, Elsa H. Reed, Sally Schneider, Helen Sherman, Jenny D. Silk, Herman Solomon, Melville Tucker, and Matilda Zaquin. If there is anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing a yahrzeit of a loved one whose name I have not said, I invite you as I face in your direction, please share their names with us. For all of them and for all those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name. And for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we join together, page 598, Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'galal v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba B'varach Le'olam Olamei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudusha B'richu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say together, amen. Before we conclude with our closing song, which AJ, come on up here, the awesome brother that you are, good to see you, Mazel Tov to you as well. You're next. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I got you, kiddo. After our closing song, we're going to join together in the living room, which is to your left there, for a kiddush and a motzi in honor of Max becoming a bar mitzvah. So there's going to be challah and cups of grape juice. I invite you, take a little cup of grape juice. Don't drink it yet, though, because we're going to come out. We're going to do a couple blessings and do motzi, and then from there we will celebrate. So put your arms around somebody next to you. If you don't know who they are, say hello and Shabbat Shalom. So we join together with Osei Shalom.
Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom. shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav
Say shalom
aleinu
Hi.
ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Mazel tov.